Alright everyone, welcome back to Misericorde Volume 1. It's been a bit, hasn't it? But I heard that there was a secret scene in this game, so I figured, let me play this one out, see how it is, because I plan on continuing Volume 2 soon enough, and I might as well play all of Misericorde Volume 1 before I continue on to Part 2, you know what I'm saying? I may not be a perfectionist, but I like having every scene. Kind of like when you watch a movie, and then before moving on to part 2, you kind of want to make sure you've seen everything of part 1. So here we are, guys. We're back at it again with Misericorde, and we're going to check out that secret scene. So let's check it out. Alright, guys. So in order to access the secret scene, apparently, you need to achieve all achievements but one, and then enter the gallery. And there's supposedly a picture here you need to click on to access the scene. I gotta find out which one it is, though. It might be this one, I think. Holy crap! Okay, whoa. Oh, steady on. That never happened, did it? I'd say it was my mistake, but it wasn't really. I might have let it slip on purpose. She hates it when I fiddle with her hobbies. Can you believe that? It's a bit rude not to share, especially with dear, close friends. Even ruder to hide from friends if you ask me. But we're due for a reunion, I think. All thanks to you. Don't look so nervous. You popped out of a freaking picture out of nowhere, bro. Or ma'am. You've helped me, and I'm a very generous woman. Oh, there you go. I can tell you like to read. That's true, I do like to read. At least I hope you do if you made it this far. How about a little more? I think you'll find this interesting. I found it lying around somewhere or other. I don't know if it's entirely accurate, but what is? Oh, wow. Ma'am, I would really appreciate if we could avoid causing a scene. I bought this ticket. This is bullshit. Ma'am, please? I ain't stopping you from getting on the plane. I'm just warning you that you may need to remove your piercings to get through security. Why? Are they gonna reflect off the rearview mirror? Are they gonna mess with the radar? Do they look explosive or something? Sweetie, can you not say the X word so loud? You're making the other people in line nervous. Sorry, which word? Explosive? A few of the other clerks next to the woman I was speaking to glanced over, eyebrows raised. I was getting a kick out of making these people squirm, I gotta admit. But it was beyond bullshit that I was being told to remove my piercings just to get through airport security. Yeah, stop saying it so loud, or at all. Not to mention your jacket. After typing hastily into her terminal for a few more seconds, the woman finally handed back my passport. My ticket sputtered out of the loud machine, and I snatched it before she had a chance to take it. Have a pleasant flight. I do apologize if I caused any offense by commenting on your jewelry and stuff. Something tells me you don't warn everyone about the metal detector. Just trying to be helpful, ma'am. I rolled my eyes and stepped away. It was a good thing I've gotten to the airport early. I was hungry as fuck. I heaved my backpack onto my shoulders and set off towards my terminal. I figured I'd at least have time to grab a snack before I got on the plane. There were a decent amount of folks in line to get to the detector. The line moved quick, so when I got to the security guy, he sort of gave me this "oh, great" look. All metal objects in the bin with your bag, please. I rolled my eyes and started dechroming myself. Studded bracelets off, nose ring off, earrings out, vest off, more studs. Now why the hell would you wear all that to the airport? Man, shut up. The guard raised his eyebrows and opened his mouth to say something, but quickly stopped when he saw me lean over to rest one arm against the x-ray machine next to the metal detector and reach down to my bag. I probably should have opted for one of the wheelchairs outside the terminal to get around the airport, but fuck it. I had a lot of energy ahead of the ship and I wanted to travel light. I ducked my leg into the bin with the rest of my shit and hopped towards the guard. Alright, who the hell is this girl? She's like very, very aggressive in terms of personality, not really so much in actions. I'm gonna do a little spin thing through it. The guy stepped back a bit to let me put one arm to the metal detector, then jumped through it to rest both arms against the conveyor belt that fed out of the x-ray machine. Slick. A few people waiting in line behind me clapped. I rolled my eyes. My bag and bits came through across the belt. I took a second to put myself back together and thank God that none of my other piercings had set up the machine off. When I was putting my jacket back on, the guard commented on my back patch. I don't know if I'd wear that to the airport. Gonna do something about it? He laughed. Easy, easy. You're at like here. He held his hand up in the air. And I'm like way down here. Where you flying? The UK. Oh yeah, you're gonna need to come way down from up there. That's a long flight. What's it to you? He was waving more people through as I put my studs and rings back on. Nothing at all. I just don't like seeing people fly mad. Not sure that's your jurisdiction, cop. I'm a cop? Do you think you're not a cop? I've got a real boring beat for a cop. You've got a badge and everything. It's a private security gig, ma'am. So you're like a mall cop. Man, I wish. They get to walk more, I think. Yeah, well, still a cop. How many of those doodads and piercings do you have anyway? More than you'll ever see. Ma'am, I promise you I am not bringing the hostility to this conversation that you're perceiving. Sorry. It's just, do I? It was hard not to grin at this guy's profession aside. Cop. Folks were passing by and taking their bags to the guard, waved them through. What's your name? Alex. Is that real, or is that just what you tell cops? Nah, that's real. I don't tell cops anything. See, that's good. We're opening a dialogue. Not real cops. Ouch. No, see, that's good. Damn, I feel like Jimmy Carter. We're building a real framework for peace here. Man, fuck off with that. Shoot. I've got you back up again after all that. Look, I don't know what any of the political shit means, I just hear the news in the break room sometimes. It is what it is, I guess. I finally finished getting my shit together and turned away from the conversation to head toward the terminal. Have a good flight now, ma'am. Uh-huh. Look, I don't have time right now. If I ever see you again, I'm gonna recommend you some books to explain some stuff, alright? I winced as soon as the word spilled out. It sounded cooler in my head. How? I don't know, but I swear it did. Okay then. Looking forward to it. Weirdo. Even with all those distractions, I've ended up with some time before my flight. I figured I'd grab a burger or something, go over my itinerary, etc., etc. The fast food place was pretty busy, but the line moved quick enough, and I soon had a nice bag of garbage to fuel me to an international flight. There weren't any free tables, but there was an empty bar stool near the front of the place, at the long table where all single travelers were eating. Or at least, it would have been empty if there wasn't a handbag on it. You good if I sit here? Of course. My stool was in the corner next to the wall. My neighbor was a preppy-looking woman wearing a purple knitted turtleneck. She had a pair of those big hoop earrings, bright red lipstick on the nails, bangs that covered her eyes, sorry. Not really my scene, but fuck it, I wasn't gonna eat standing up. She lifted the bag up onto the table and drummed her fingers against the seat. The red pleather was faded and cracked, and when I got up close I could see that the bar stools and table were covered in rude graffiti. Thanks. My pleasure, darling. Where you headed? Burger Town. She chuckled as I unwrapped my food. Didn't know they had an airport there. England. Oh, now that's funny. Me as well. Gate 17? The 3 o'clock? That's the one. Small world. You going home, or did me accent give it away? She definitely played it up a little for that response. Good to know it's back to normal then. I could have passed for a real valley girl before I got to the terminal. I always pick a bit of local flavor from wherever I'm visiting. So you got your English voice back when you started thinking about home? That's cool. Something like that. It's all a bit mental. I can say that here, of course. That's ruder in the UK. Yeah? You shouldn't say mental. And trucks are lorries. Oh, and do you smoke? What gave it away? Well, try not to get cross if anyone offers you. Chill. Chill. I knew that one. Well, that's good then. She looked real pleased with herself. I never had much patience for people who like testing boundaries for fun, but I had nowhere else to go. Besides, who knows who else I would meet if I left. I was running into some real head cases lately. Visiting family then? Yeah. Yeah. Whereabouts, if you don't mind my asking? Up north a ways. I've got a long-ass bus ride once I get to Heathrow. Isn't it funny how big a place like that can feel? Sure. Could probably fit in Cali, right? Oh, easily. Do you mind if I steal a chip? Huh? Oh, my mistake. A fry? Yeah, they call fries chips there. Oh, sure. Thank you kindly. The press-on nails didn't help, but I felt a little freaked out watching her pluck exactly one fry out of the box with her long fingers. It kinda looked like one of those nature shows where an eagle pulls the guts out of a fish or something. She ate it very carefully. I guess she had to. Her lipstick was pretty intense, and there wasn't a crumb or a spot of grease or anything on her expensive-looking outfit. I do quite like those. Terrible for me, of course, but what isn't, eh? It's what I can afford. Flights ain't cheap, turns out. Too right. She sucked her finger and thumb clean and dried them on one of my napkins. Well, safe travels. Yeah, sure. Thanks. She smiled at me and slid off her bar stool with a clack. I realized she was wearing expensive heels. Too expensive for anyone I've ever seen eating shit fast food at Lax. I could hear every footstep across the tile floor as she left. I finished my burger and stuffed all the crap in the paper bag to throw away. As I got off the seat, I realized that woman's handbag was still on the counter. Ah, fuck. I really didn't feel like running errands, but if we're gonna be on the same flight... I took the bag and got going toward the gate. Imagine she left that on purpose, though. Like, I feel like she did. I feel like that, like, they have a connection or something, and it's gonna, you know, continue on throughout this game. Or in the next one. We'll see. I must have spent way too long eating that shitty burger because when I finally got to the gate, they were already boarding. Technically, I think I was supposed to get on the plane first. Oh well. Guess I can't do that if I ain't there. Just so you know, ma'am, you can only put one bag under the seat. Yeah, got it. I almost said that the handbag wasn't mine, but I realized that was probably not the best thing to tell someone right before getting on a plane. Have you ever been on a plane? This is my first time. It feels weird on planes. As soon as you step in, it feels like the air is constantly being sucked away from you. Really? I never felt that way. I always like going on planes. I especially like going on long flights. Like when I go to the Philippines, that's like what, a 14 to 17 hour flight? I love it just because, you know, I get to watch movies there. Especially when I was a kid, that was a fun ride. Nowadays, for most adults, it's like boring or they just can't stand the long flight itself. But for me, I like planes in general. Which I guess it kind of is. That's how the, you know, the air conditioning or whatever works. It's like you're yawning even when you're not yawning. Or like you've got earplugs in even though you don't. It feels like dog shit, that's for sure. I was looking around for the woman I'd met at the fast food place, but I couldn't see her anywhere. Everyone was standing in the aisles, putting their bags away, taking their jackets and sweaters off, etc., etc. It was going to be impossible to find her. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you're going to need to make some room. Do you need help finding your seat? Huh? Oh, no, sorry about that. Well, shit. I wasn't far from my seat, but I was real nervous about keeping this lady's bag with me. What if I got all the way to a foreign country with someone else's shit? What if she'd been wrong about what flight she was on? Would that be like an international crime? The last thing I needed was Interpol coming after my ass over some rich lady's handbag. I sat down in my window seat and tried to stay calm. I figured I could at least wait until we were in the air so I could walk around and make sure she wasn't on the flight before panicking too hard. Now here's a coincidence. Oh, thank God. Hey, you left your bag on the table earlier. She put her hands over her chest and opened her mouth like a fish. Oh my God, thank you. I would have been proper devoted if I had left it behind. Okay, I don't know what devoted means, but I'm pretty sure that's an equivalent of upset, frustrated, you know, anxious. She sat down next to me and I handed her bag. She started reaching around inside it, I guess to check if anything had gotten lost. Whew, all here. Then she pulled out a fat wad of bills and a money clip. Let's see. Oh, no, you don't gotta. She licked her thumb and peeled off a small stack of bills and handed them to me. Don't be silly. This is 250 bucks. Pounds, love. But yeah, a little pocket money for your trip, yeah? Well, thanks. Not at all. Thanks for bringing me back. I knew you were alright when I first saw you. Weird. Was she testing her? What a coincidence we're in the same row, huh? Nah, lady, that ain't a coincidence. You planned this somehow. Just like you planned on meeting by the burger joint. Burger break room? Burger place? In the airport? Guess so. I wanted something in the smoking section. Ooh, aye, me as well. I take it you don't mind then. Nah, go for it. She reached back into her bag and pulled out the most ridiculous pack of cigs I've ever seen. The whole box was gold. Her lighter was almost a perfect match. The hell are those? Do you not get these here? Maybe, but I've never seen them. She held the box out to me and shook it so exactly one cig stuck out. Don't know how long she practiced that one, but it was impressive. Have you seen any of the adverts for these? No. They're very chic. Go on then, try it. I'd be curious to know what you think. What's your usual? I usually smoke whatever low tars I can get my hands on. Gotcha. Not a big brand follower. Nah. Me either, typically. Some people like to pit them against each other, but I'll try anything so long as I like the look. Must be nice. She held the ridiculous lighter out to me. The cig she'd given me. I don't know if I'd call it good, but it sure tasted more expensive than my usual. Like watches. Do you know anything about watches? I know they're for telling the time. I held my wrist to show her my cheap digital watch. She exhaled the smoke, but didn't respond. Sort of. I mean, they are, but they aren't. You know what I mean? They're jewelry, really. You should get a nicer one. They're way too expensive. My dad has one from a spy movie he liked as a kid. I asked how much it cost one time, and I was so mad when he told me. Ooh, does he now? That'll be nice. That'll be a proper automatic. Digitals are so much cheaper. I'm a bit biased, I suppose. She held up her arm and pulled her sweater sleeve down to reveal her own watch. It was a bright gold, although the dial was shocking pink that I wouldn't have associated with luxury brand name inlaid in gold. Holy shit, how much is that? I don't know actually. Got this one instead of cash for some work I did a while back. Okay, I gotta ask. What do you do? Suppose I call myself a flaneur, if anything? Passante? Passant? If we're being grammatically correct. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, you guys can correct me on that. So you're professionally French? She laughed. She leaned back in her seat and flicked up the little ashtray in the armrest so she could ash her cigarette. Technically, I'm in the publishing. Bit of location scout. I think is the best way to describe it. I take special assignments. I travel a lot. I enjoy people watching. I had no idea publishers could afford that kind of lifestyle. There's loads of people out there buying books to not read, love. I laughed. I'm laughing too, that's pretty funny. Fair enough. So what do you actually read? I'd be curious to know if you'd seen any of mine. Like I skimmed Capital. Haven't we all? I like Chomsky. Any fiction? I don't have time for fiction. Ooh, that stings. Well, that hurts me too. I love fiction. If I'm reading something, I want it to matter. I can do other stuff for fun, I guess. She nodded thoughtfully. The captain came over the loudspeaker and announced something. It was impossible to tell what exactly thanks to that shitty mic. Plus, books are expensive. I've got to pick stuff that counts. I feel like I know how every story is going to go the second I read the first sentence. She pointed at me with her cigarette approvingly. We're not so different then. I just come down the other end, I suppose. But I get it. Who needs a book to tell you what you already know? That's why I prefer fiction myself. Maybe you just need to read different kinds of fiction. I never know what I'm going to get. So, what kind of books do you publish anyway? I'm not the publisher. I'm just in publishing. So you're the heiress to a publishing company or something? She gave me a wicked grin. Like I said, I'd call myself a flaneur. A passant, if being grammatically correct. It was around this point that the plane's engine started up. We put our cigarettes out and adjusted our seats to get ready for takeoff. You ever been on a plane before? First time. Don't let the bumpiness get to you. Why did it go red? That's never a good sign. 500 years hence. See you soon. Oh, that's the secret scene? That was interesting. I don't even know what that was about. Like, I don't even know who that new character is. That new sister. Does she probably has a connection, obviously, with the main crew eventually. But I don't know what that entails, really. But that was interesting. So I'm hoping to see if she makes a comeback in Volume 2 when we get to it. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the love and support. This has been very, enlightening in some ways, because I missed this game. After playing through it and beating it, I thought like, I would have to wait a while for the next part to come out. And then not that long after, I heard Volume 2 came out. So it was a matter of time. I would have probably played Volume 2 right away if not for the fact that some of you mentioned that there was a secret chapter. So I'm glad you guys notified me on that and I got a chance to experience it for myself because that was interesting. I liked it a lot. So if anything else, guys, thank you again. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.